Good evening, everyone, to the second international press conference of the Tromsø Chess Olympiad. I'm very pleased to introduce our guest of the evening. To my left, I have former women's world champion Antoaneta Stefanova joining us. Next to her, we have a legend from Brazil who has participated in chess Olympiads all the way since 1982, Grandmaster Gilberto Milos. And to my right, I have an old friend, 6 times US champion, recently became Grandmaster Irina Krush. And next to her, we have our guest from Sri Lanka, Rajeendra. Welcome, everyone. First of all, Antoaneta, I know you played a lot of Olympiads, starting all the way back in Manila when you were just 13 years old.
Yes.
That's many Olympiads. How do you compare all the different Olympiads that you participated, each one of them, since 1992?
Well, Olympiad is always a very special event, so each one has some good things and some not so good things. But okay, for me, I think the best was my first one in Manila because, okay, it was a great feeling to be 13 and to meet all the great players for whom I only read in books and I learned from their games. But also, I mean, it was a very nice Olympiad. I'm sure everyone who was there would agree with me. But yeah, since then, okay, there have been ups and downs. So, but in general, it's a very nice event.
Thank you. Irina, you are not much behind Antoaneta, who started at 13. You were 14 at your first Olympiad in Alista, right? Mm-hmm. How do you compare all the different Olympiads, and how do you compare this one compared to the others?
Yeah, well, I can't really think of a bad Olympiad, you know, because the Olympiad is just a very, like Antoaneta said, a special tournament, and it's usually quite a lot of fun. And when you leave, you forget about things like, you know, how well the internet works or not. How do I compare this one? It compares very favorably with all the other ones. I mean, I can't really think of a beautiful venue. I really enjoy just going outside on the walk to the playing hall and seeing the water and the mountains and the fresh air. And it's a small, pretty town. And yeah, the organization is very good. I like the hotel and the food especially. I'm a fish eater, so I knew there was going to be something for someone like me in Norway.
I know you're a worldwide traveler. Is this your first time to Norway?
No, I think this is my 3rd time in Norway. I got a chance to play 2 round-robin tournaments here in 2007 and 2008 in Gosdal. And on both of those trips, I took the chance to do some sightseeing in Norway. On my first time here, I went to Bergen afterwards. It's a very pretty city in the western part of Norway. And the second time I did something even more exotic. Well, for me it was exotic because at some point I had seen a list of like must-see islands in the world. It's the most exotic ones, and there was one called the Lofoten Islands. I'd never even heard of it before. And when I got this invitation to play in Norway, I was like, well, how about I fly up there? It's quite north, and visit these remote islands. So I did that also for like a few days, and yeah, that was one of the most sort of remote and unique destinations I've ever been to.
Was it really cold up there?
It was April, so I wouldn't. It was like similar to here, maybe a little bit colder, but yeah, it was definitely a remote place. There weren't a lot of restaurants on those islands.
Well, I'm glad you like this Olympiad because I think it's a fantastic event. Of course, all Olympiads are great from the human aspect. See all friends and new friends, but I think this is a real beautiful venue indeed.
Yeah.
Let me go to our guests from Sri Lanka, and I want to say that all 4 of our guests tonight are winners. They all won their games tonight, so that's wonderful. They are all in good mood, therefore. Rajeendra, you told me that this is your 2nd Olympiad.
Yeah, this is my 2nd.
You had a long break between your previous one.
Yeah, I played the first in 2006 during Olympiad, then I had to stop just for my studies. Then I came back and having a wonderful experience here.
How is chess in Sri Lanka? We don't know too much about it.
Yeah, it's really growing up now. Like we had a very hard time a few years back, due to some like it was not that much developed chess in those days, but in last 6-7 years it's growing up, and like we have 22 million in Sri Lanka, and the chess population is growing up rapidly. Now we have 20,000, 30,000 school kids playing chess in Sri Lanka, so it's wonderful in Sri Lanka.
That's wonderful to hear,
Yeah.
indeed.
So one of those cool kids is a student of mine. Actually, I have an online student from Sri Lanka,
really?
a little girl.
Small world.
Yeah. And actually, I'm hoping to visit Sri Lanka later on this year.
thing.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Great to hear. And last but not least, let me get to our veteran of Olympiads. As we discovered earlier, you played your first Olympiad all the way back in 1982. Let's not count years here, but I guess a whole bunch have changed in your lifetime in Olympiads and in general in chess. What would you say is the biggest change over your career competing?
Well, chess since the Olympiad of '82 changed a lot. I mean, even the rules of chess. I mean, we had a journal, we had no computers. I think the big difference is the computer. The big difference on chess are computers, because when I started playing, there was no computer, so everything was completely different. I mean, we analyzed, we prepared everything. We had other perspective on chess at that time, so. The biggest change I found in chess was exactly this, adapted to computers.
What is your feeling? Is it easier or is it harder now that everybody has access to computers? Because it's not just you or I, but everybody has it.
Yeah.
So is it easier to become good, or is it
It's easier
harder?
to play better. You have much more information. You have a player that almost always tell you the best move. So this makes chess players better. But as everybody has, everything is much more difficult. I like it more the other time. I mean, when you had some ideas, you had to develop it alone, and I think it was more interesting than today. But
Can you say us a few words about chess in Brazil? I know in my lifetime it has changed quite a bit. When I started playing chess, Brazil wasn't exactly considered a very big chess country, although you had Macking, who was fantastic, but other than him, it wasn't really a big chess country. But today, there are a lot of young, very talented and strong players. What do you think, what happened that it changed a little bit?
yeah, Mackin was a genius that appeared in Brazil, and but we had no structure at that time, so he was a tremendous player, but chess was not developed. After that, we started developing chess on chess in school. The players had better conditions. We had much more better players, and we are increasing now. Chess in Brazil is increasing, if not a lot. It's increasing almost every year. We have much more players, and also chess in school, which brings a lot of players. So we are in a good way.
You personally have organized also some major events like the Grand Slam and such. I know you wrote books, you have all kind of videos and software. What is the main thing you do today?
Well, I work with chess, with all these things. I mean, I developed a software, I can make videos, I give lessons, I play for the team and for Brazilian team, I play championships, organize events. I'm not clearly doing this or that, but I play. And every time less, I mean, I'm every year less a player. I mean, I play much less than before.
Antoaneta, how was your game today?
Oh, it was interesting. I mean, okay, I got an advantage in the early stage in the opening, but then it was not so easy to convert it into a full point because I was a pawn up, but my opponent found some exact moves, so it was not so easy to win the game. But okay, I don't think I ever really lost my advantage, although at some point I could play better. But okay, I was still pawn up and better position, so eventually I won it.
You were world champion from 2004 to 2006. And then you had good tournaments and mixed tournaments, but then you made a pretty good comeback in 2012. You made it all the way to the final, right?
Well, yes. I mean, okay, I won the world championship in rapid, But
That is
yes, I lost the final in the classical chess.
So are we seeing another comeback in the next championship?
Well, you know, once you were a world champion, and I'm sure you know it very well, you always play for the first place. So, of course, I'll try to do my best, but you never know what will happen. So.
Are you still working hard on your chess in between tournaments?
Well, I was never working hard on my chess, if I have to be honest. I mean, I always enjoyed very much playing chess, but I was, I don't know, maybe because I never had professional trainers until I was already European women champion. My father was my only trainer, but what I mean is that I never really learned how to work on chess. So, yeah, well, I mean, I continue working from time to time. I play a lot of tournaments, but working hard is not really how anyone would describe it, so I don't know. But I still enjoy chess.
Well, good luck when you have the next championship pretty soon, probably.
Thank you.
And Irina, you became a grandmaster recently, which I assume was a lifetime goal. Mm-hmm. What's next?
Well, also like Antoaneta, I want to do well in the next Women's World Championship, which should be in October. So that's the next big tournament that I'll be focusing on after this one.
And what's the expectation of the US team for this event?
This tournament, well, we're ranked number 7, and I think a top 5 finish would be good to qualify us for the World Team Championship next year.
Well, good luck for that.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we'll stop here and we'll let the journalists ask questions, starting with NRK's reporter.
I would like to ask a question to Antoaneta. Congratulations on winning today. I'm interested in your opponent, the young Maklik. What would you say, even though you won, what did you see to be her strengths?
Well, it's the first time I play with her, so it's difficult to give very deep assessment on her qualities as a chess player. But okay, in general, what I liked about her is that she is really a fighter, and well, clearly she needs more experience and maybe more theoretical knowledge. But the most important for a chess player, I believe, is the spirit and the desire to play, and I think she has it. So I wish her good luck in her future tournaments.
Do you recognize something about her in yourself, in her age? I mean, you were so successful at such a young age.
Well, as I said, I mean, I don't know her really that much, but my impression is that, yes, that she has this fighting spirit which we all need to play chess.
Thank you very much.
Another question? If nobody else has another question, I have another question to both Antoaneta and Irina. You both play very regularly in top women's events, as well as you play very serious top-level open events. How do you compare the two? Antoaneta first.
Well, some years ago there was not so many female events, so of course, in order to become a better player, we were playing lots of men events, and I always enjoyed them. And I don't know, I think it was easier for me there because there is no pressure that you have to prove that you are the best one every time. So yeah, I enjoy it more, but of course, today there's so many top-level women tournaments like the Grand Prix and the European, the World Championship, Olympiads and European team events. So there is not so much time left for open tournaments. But yeah, I enjoy them in any case.
And Irina?
Yeah, well, I enjoy playing in both kinds of events. With women-only tournaments, yeah, it's more competitive. You know, your results is more important. When you play in open tournaments, well, it's not that easy to compete with the best men players in the world, so you know, you do your best, but you're not exactly, like if you don't win the tournament, it's okay. But when you're playing only women, then yeah, you're expected to do quite well, and so there's more pressure in those events. Those are kind of more high stakes events for you, but both of them are interesting to play in.
Well, thank you so much. Any questions?
I'll say one last thing. I think it's very cool that Magnus Carlsen is playing here. You know, often like the world champions, they wouldn't play in Olympiads, you know, if they're on a team that cannot realistically win first place. So, you know, what's the point for them? There's not much incentive. They only kind of risk their rating. And I think it's great that he's playing here in his host country. And it's great for Norway, but it's also great for all chess fans.
Absolutely, and I think we're all very thankful for that. I'm sure he has some doubts about it tonight, giving away some rating points.
Well, yeah, that's exactly the problem, you know, but yeah, I'm sure he'll gain them back later.
I have no doubt about that. He's approaching that magic 2,900 mark that some years ago nobody thought it's possible. And I think it's only a matter of time that he'll make it reality. So that's absolutely really special. Well, I'll wish all of you good luck for your future next games coming up, and thank you so much for attending the press conference.
Thank you.